Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's learn computer science.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm back with day 16 video of Python tutorial. Today we are going to learn about binary files. In today's video, we'll learn about what binary files are, what is pickling and unpickling when we deal with binary files in Python, how do we write in binary files, how do we read from binary files, and how do we append data in binary files. So without wasting time, let's start our today's video. First of all, let's understand what binary files are. In Python, binary files basically they store data which is not understandable or which is not readable by humans. It's in a format which is understandable by computers. So when we deal with binary files, this is the data that is directly understandable by computers, so no translation is required. And we can say that it is formed out of zeros and ones. And when we try to open a binary file using any text editor, for example, if we open a binary file in Notepad, then it will show us some values which are not understandable by us humans. So, for example, let me just take you to the desktop and let's try to open some image file. And let's see what we see in Notepad. For example, if you see this is an image file, right? If I open this, you will see this is an image, right? However, if I try to open this with Notepad, let's say open with Notepad. So this is what I see. So this is a binary file, but when I open it with Notepad, I am not able to see, I'm not able to read the content, right? So that is why I say that whenever you try to open a binary file using a text editor, it will show some garbage values which we can't read as humans, right? Moving forward, these binary files, they differ from text files. Number one, they don't need any end of file character, right? Like in text files, we do have end of file character, end of line character, but in binary files, we do not have such delimiter, right? Another thing is these files are suitable for various data types like images, audios, and any other complex structures. There are some file extensions mentioned, for example, .bin, .dat, .jpg, .png, .mp3, .pdf. So all these are extensions for binary files. Now, in binary files, it is very important to understand that we use a pickle module in order to do pickling and unpickling. And what is pickling and unpickling? That is what we are going to understand now. So, pickling is basically a process of converting a Python object into a byte string. So, Python objects, for example, you can have data in the form of list, you can have data in the form of dictionary. So whenever you have data in these Python objects, you need to convert them into byte stream. And then that allows it to be easily stored on disk, and we can then transmit over a network if required. So pickling is basically converting a Python object into a byte stream. And unpickling is just reversing the process, converting the byte stream back into the Python object. Python object means into a list or a dictionary or any other Python object you want to use. So that is also known as serialization and deserialization, right? So pickling, converting Python object into byte stream, and unpickling, process of reconstructing a Python object from a byte string. And to do so, we have a pickle module. So whenever you deal with Python binary files, so you import pickle module which is used for serialization and deserialization. And further, we have some functions like dump and load to read and write the data. So writing in binary files, we use dump function. So dump method is used to convert Python objects for writing data in binary files, means pickling. When you need to do pickling, so dump method is used, right? How do we use it? First of all, we need to open the binary file in write mode, which is WB, and syntax is dump. Then we have data object in the bracket that you are going to write to the file, for example, some list or dictionary, and then the file object with which you have opened your binary file, right? So for example, first line is going to be import pickle. You have to import the module. Then you are having your data. You can have a dictionary. I have right now, it is a dictionary right here. You can have a list or anything else. And then you open the file either using directly open file method or using with clause. So here I have used with clause with open, whatever your file name is, WB when you're writing into the file as file. So this is my file object, and then pickle.dump data, my dictionary, and comma file object, right? That is how we dump in binary files. So reading, we have a load function. So load method is used to load, means unpickling of data. So we open the file in read mode whenever we have to read from the binary files. So read is RB mode. Syntax is variable name, which is assigned to load function. So whatever we are taking back from the load function, it will be returned, and that you can store in some variable name. So variable name is equals to load and in the bracket the file object using which you are dealing with the binary file. For example, first line is always you import pickle module, then you open the file, and then you receive the data from pickle.load and file object, whatever you're dealing with, right? And then of course you can print the data or whatever you want to do with the data, that you can do. Now appending data in binary files, here you need to open file in AB mode, right? So writing WB, reading RB, and appending AB. And of course, syntax is similar. You open the file, file name, then append mode as file, right? Now I'll take you to the Python IDLE to see how do we implement this in Python, right? All right, so let's understand how do we implement binary files in Python. So first thing is to import pickle module, as we all know. So that's the first thing we need to do. Now let's create one function for, let's say, for writing into the file. So write, define, write. Okay, inside this, I am going to take one object list one, and inside the list, I'm just writing CS with SKS, right? So I have created one list. Now, whatever is there in this list, you can take this data from user also. I have just put it there. Now, whatever is there in this list, I'm going to write it into the binary file. So what we need to do, first of all, we need to open the file. So with open, so you can have any file name. So I'm going to write binary dot or simply binary one dot, and then I'm going to open this file in writing mode. As I mentioned earlier, whenever you have to write something to file, you have to open it in write mode. Okay, and I am taking the file object as F1. Okay, now I have to write into the file using what? Dump method. Okay, so syntax is pickle dot dump. Then you have to use your list object, comma, your file object, which is F1, right? Now I have written to the file. Okay, now what I need to do? I need to come out of it and I have to create another uh, function using which I'll read my binary file. Now to read, we have load method, but again, I have to open my file. Yeah, so I am taking this data, I'm opening my file, but this time I'm opening in read mode. Yeah, now what I need to do, I need to retrieve the data from my binary file, but using pickle dot load method. Now, what do I need to load? I need to load whatever is there in this file object, right? Now, what I can do, I can simply, first of all, I can run write function and then I can run read function. However, before I do this, I can simply print whatever I have retrieved from this file. So whatever I have retrieved here, I'm going to print it here. So let's just run this. Yeah, so it has printed whatever is there in the file. Yeah, so just to see that this was also executed, this function was also executed. So I am just simply printing one statement here, data written in binary file. So now if I run this, so firstly, it printed data written in binary file when I executed write function, and then it executed read function using which whatever was there in the file is printed here. So that is how we read and write data from binary files. Okay. Now it is assessment time. There are only 5 questions for you guys. Pause the video, try and answer these questions. And of course, I'm going to display the answer key in the end, right? So start your assessment. Here is the answer key for all of you. Please compare. Hope you got all the correct answers. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.